Hello, Internet! Welcome to the Behind a Meme. This week we'll be reviewing Keanu Reeves. Hello, everyone. Just here, and I know I. This is a video on the recent E3 conference of 2019 or E3 2019. I I have a lot to say. There's a lot to say about it. It's very popular. I want to make so much fucking subscribers out this. So subscribe if you're. Also subscribe, like the video, and if you're new here, subscribe, like the video, comment your thoughts on the video and videos I should do in the future, and hit the bell because maybe you can make it to 50 subscribers. Okay, with that out of the way, let's start. Okay, E3 2019 just happened. It's like super big. PewDiePie, Pyrocynical, and everyone else is doing their own response and like things they want to say about it. So I'm not going. And for record, I am not going to do any make any jokes about the. I'm not going to go into the cringe factor to it. Because like everyone's like, oh my god, look at how cringy E3 is. E3 is so cringe. Yeah, it is. It's beautiful, but you gotta think about this. These are game developers who are not very social. They're not people in the spotlight very often. And they have to talk about their game. They have to discuss their game, announce features people might like, and it's just awkward. It's just natural for 5 hours without making any big spoilers. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the cringe of E3. Okay, you know I'm so glad I reached 10 subscribers. You're all breathtaking. Oh, speaking of breathtaking, let's talk about Keanu Reeves. As many of you know, Keanu Reeves is going to be starred in a game I'm very excited for, and that's Cyberpunk 2077. It's supposed to be inspired by a D&D type RPG like that, which I kind of like. I kind of like the idea. It's weird, and like I'm kind of excited for it. It may be like some weird sort of. It could be like a Grand Theft Auto mixed with. I don't know. This is my personal opinion. I think it may be some kind of GTA mixed with Crisis, or something like that. So I'm very excited for that. And also, they announced Elden Ring, the newest installment of the Souls franchise. But Joseph, it's not a Souls series. All right. It like if it, basically the Elden Ring is the newest installment from Software that's going to be released probably in a year from now, probably. So yeah, it may this is big because like Sekiro just came out, and like I believe this is a new step in the franchise because guess what? They got George R. R. Martin helping on the project. Yes, the George R. R. Martin that wrote Song of Ice and Fire and the Game of Thrones TV series. Like this is phenomenal because like it just shows how gaming is starting to cross with more popular and traditional culture. Like this is big. It's kind of like having to. It's like this huge collab. It's like so great, It's like we're going to get a soul. It's going to be open. All we know about it from now, in a gameplay sense, it's going to be like Dark Souls. But the thing is, it's going to be open world. Meaning, it's like I kind of think this is actually going to work really good because, like, oh my god, I'm just so excited for it. So yeah, George R. R. Martin. It's going to be, and Miyazaki, Hidetaka Miyazaki claims that this is their biggest project yet. So yeah, it's a very great. It's going to be great. Well, hopefully. Also, I would like to go over another game that's a bit weird. Something that was a bit weird at first. I mean, yeah, all sorts of good games got announced, like Elden Ring and... Oh, speaking of that, we must talk about we must talk about the new Final Fantasy VII the remake. Like they just like if any of you are aware of Final Fantasy or that type of stuff, a couple years back, they announced they're going to make a remake of Final Fantasy VII, and it looks amazing. Mwah, mwah. It's fantastic. After Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, or I can't remember which. Like I think it was around like 2 years back. I think, and like they announced a remake for Final Fantasy 7, and we just got more information about it, and it looks really good. Like it's gonna be really great. So like yeah. So any of my Final Fantasy fans, you're it's not the final. People made jokes about how Final Fantasy VII ain't going to come out because we didn't get information on it thus far. But hey, it turns out this is actually a real thing. It's not. It is not one of those. It's not one of those fake games that gets announced and it never comes out. You know. All right. Now, with all the good stuff out of the way, we must first talk about Funny Valentine from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure says there's a balance to the positives and the negatives, and the negatives is Fallout 76. Oh boy! If you're not aware, I mean it's kind of hard to, especially if you're part of like the gaming community. A year ago they released. I don't think it was a year ago. Like this year, Bethesda, creators of Fallout, Skyrim, and all these other games, released a bit of a stinker. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me some Bethesda, Dishonored, Fallout, Skyrim, all those good games. But they kind of released a stinker. It's 76, and 76 is absolute dog shit. It's absolute shit. Doesn't It's basically just Fallout 4, but worse. It's not even. It's not even its own game. It's just like they just use mods. They just used the models and stuff from the previous game from 4 so much, and just like, and also the connectivity and like that type of stuff is absolute dog shit. So yeah, but but in E3 they kind of responded to it by saying that they thanked everyone for playing their piece of shit incomplete game, and said thank you, and we're trying to fix it. I mean, this can be seen as a positive or a negative, but Fallout 76 is one of those games that ruin that like a piece of paper, like a big fucking hole in a sheet up, it's like it's like a blot of it's like a blot of shit on a really great painting, and it's kind of sad. But hey, like who knows? Maybe they might release some masterpiece in the future. So yeah, it's like a bit weird. Also, I just want to discuss. You know, it's like E3. All in all, was a really great was a really great like thing to hear about. Also, something else was really great for games. They're announcing some really good stuff for this year. Also, I'd like to go over Sony's absence. It's weird. Like Sony isn't really announcing anything, so I don't know. It just seems a bit fishy. Like maybe who knows? Maybe. Oh yeah, they also announced a new Xbox console. So yeah, that's cool. Speaking of Xbox, we must talk about PlayStation, and PlayStation kind of backed out, which is kind of bad because like I said, they announced a new Xbox console. So yeah, I think PlayStation's they're still mooching off PlayStation 4, I guess. So yeah, I think Sony subconsciously knows, at least, like it's going to be a big sort of it's going to be like it's going to be a slow process to convert from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, because PlayStation 4 is like you can't really improve upon that. So yeah, I all in all, in conclusion, this has been a great E3. A bit awkward, but hey, that's kind of the thing when you get a bunch of sweaty nerds that are on stage for 5 hours. So yeah, that's all. E3 was great. So yeah, and thank you all. Thank you for my 10 subscribers. Have a great one.